Hello everyone, Nika here with your daily neuro nugget. I hope you're having an amazing Friday, Junior, because it's basically Friday tomorrow. Before we get started, I do want to share a little concoction I made for myself, which is white tea mixed with fresh ground turmeric. And turmeric is supposed to be an amazing anti-inflammatory medicinal herb with a lot of antioxidants. And because I'm breaking out, because I've slept on average, 4 hours a day the last couple days, I'm breaking out. And for me, of course I need to sleep. Of course I need to eat healthier. But this tea for me, it's not medical advice, guys. It really helps my skin clear up. This is what it looks like. The taste is quite pungent. So there you go. Let's try it. No sweetener, and it is cold. Delicious, delicious. Now, today I wanted to talk about the corruption, specifically corruption in Idaho involving police, involving law enforcement in relation to the IDAHO4 and other cases, guys, because it's everywhere, but a lot of things are happening in Idaho. Is there something in the water? I have no freaking idea. Now, there are several informants popping up all over Idaho that are being found unalived right after giving information to police. Why is that? Now, if you are not aware of what an informant does, is basically somebody who is giving the police or an agent, special agent, sometimes DEA or FBI as well, they're giving them information, usually drug related, so that they don't get in trouble. Usually it's a quid pro quo, right? Meaning the informant gives the police information and the police is supposed to protect these people in return for that information. And yes, sometimes it does go further than information. Sometimes officers tell the informants, look, go make this deal, go make that deal. That way they can track larger drug circles. And we know that there are several, including the Aryan Brotherhood, which is massive in Idaho. We know that's a huge thing. By the way, if you have been in the military as I was, you know that a lot of these Aryan Brotherhood people don't hide it. In fact, they often brag about it. And unfortunately, I did come across some of those people while I was in the military. And I know some people as well who are police officers that are in the Aryan Brotherhood. So just because they are law enforcement does not mean that they are not part of these other social circles, if you will. Now, these informants are suffering, right? Now, this former prosecutor in Boise, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but he was actually indicted in Idaho for multiple federal charges, and these charges included trafficking fentanyl and meth, and his name is Robin Dunn. You can look him up. So again, another example of people breaking the law, people who are working within the law and thinking that they are above the law, and they are actually not, and eventually it bites them in the ass, right? And they end up getting caught, like this freaking prosecutor in Boise. If you heard about that guy, let me know down in the comments. It's very interesting when I bring this up because it does trigger a lot of people. A lot of men specifically have told me, Nika, you are effing nobody. You don't deserve to be talking about LE. They protect us. But as a veteran, I think I kind of earned my right to call out the BS when I see it. I don't care if it's within the military or within law enforcement or within FBI, DEA, any triple letter agencies. If anything, if you guys are in LE or have family members who are LE, you have a larger duty, I believe, to call out the trash when you see it. Because if you do not take the trash out, it will ruin morale. It will rot the other apples in these agencies, and we don't want that. We already have way too many problems as is within these agencies, right? So why are all these freaking people popping up dead? Why are all these informants popping up dead after talking to police? The only reason that I could think of is either police are directly involved in the trafficking of all these illegal substances and they are not wanting to be found out, right? If an informant is pointing the finger and saying, look, this guy, that guy are part of the circle, even if that means calling out LE or calling out people that maybe are in a way linked to LE, well, what would you think that LE is going to do? I would think that they would probably not give protection to that informant. This is not as rare as it sounds, guys. If you have been watching the news, and if you've been watching every single one of my videos, as you should, you know that I covered the massive case in Florida where the sheriff got, it was what, over 200 people arrested? These people that were arrested, that were trafficking drugs, other substances, and people, yeah, humans too, these people were in law enforcement. They were police officers, they were veterans, they were active duty members, they were firemen, plumbers, everything. 200 people, guys. So no, it is not uncommon. These people within these agencies have a way to hide their criminal activity. That is until it catches up to them, right? So what is more probable, do you think? Do you think it's more probable that informants gone wrong in the IDAHO4 led to issues of all 4 young people being deleted off the face of the earth, or the fact that maybe there was this random lone wolf super psycho that took 4 people out in one go? I'm gonna go with the first one. And when we look at Idaho, the track record of Idaho State Police, other agencies in Idaho, small police departments within Idaho, there is a lot of corruption, And I think that part of this massive corruption in Idaho within law enforcement has to do with the fact that Idaho is massive for moving these substances, these illegal goodies. We know that it is, there are a lot of universities, right? We know things get moved up through Colorado as well. You can find this information in the DEA.gov website, by the way. Idaho is huge. That's the perfect route to move these substances all the way to Canada. So when the IDAHO4 was taking place, guys, there was already an ongoing investigation going on involving drug trafficking. So yes, this is a theory, but it is probable, I think. Why? Because this Aryan Brotherhood was being investigated since November 2021, and the Aryan Brotherhood indicted 24 federal arrests in May of 2023. And the FBI agent Richard Collodi said, this was a culmination of a 1.5 years of great investigative work. So it took them a 1.5 years to track these 24 Aryan Brotherhood guys. One that I'm sure you've heard of by the name of Jesse James Bailey. Is he related to Emma Bailey? I think he is, but a lot of people are saying he's not. I think he is, though. Now, these cases, it's funny to me because people always say, it's the cartel, it's the cartel. But as somebody who, I'm not gonna say that on here. Let's just say that when we study the cartel, me and you, when we study them, we know that they rarely leave any survivors behind. The Aryan Brotherhood, on the other hand, they do. So I find it interesting. It's this bias that we like to say, oh, it's them, right? Cartel, foreigners, outsiders, the them versus us mentality. But in reality, Idaho is full. It's a massive hotspot for this Aryan Brotherhood. They have control basically of the entire state. And if you look up the documents that show what Jesse James Bailey of the Aryan Brotherhood was arrested with, you realize that he basically ran the freaking state. This guy was moving everything. People, illegal substances, weapons, whatever you wanted, this guy could get it for you, and probably could get it through Canada as well. So I understand that this narrative is being pushed. You know, the lone wolf, super psycho killer, takes out 4 people, has never committed a crime in his life. And something very interesting is that there's still people out there who would much rather believe that than to believe that it was somebody in their own state, even if it was Aryan Brotherhood, or even if it could have potentially been with the help, direct or indirect, of law enforcement. By the way, Idaho police, you guys need to do a better job. It's very scary to think that these police officers are out there luring informants in to get information, only to say, you know what, we don't give a damn about you, informant. We got whatever information that we needed, and now if the Aryan brothers come and find you and unalive you, oh well, so be it. So in the back of my mind, I'm wondering, look, I know that these 4 people were probably good people. There are rumors that some of the girls used to watch a lot of crime shows, and is it possible that maybe some of these victims out of the IDAHO4 maybe saw something that they did not agree with, that maybe they said, you know what, let's go report this. Maybe Moscow PD will do something about it. And maybe these 4 victims were trying to be helpful, and maybe, just maybe, things went lopsided, and maybe they put way too much faith and trust into Moscow PD, when in reality, Moscow PD did not give a damn about them. Because why? Because they are not from Moscow. And from what we have seen, Moscow PD only gives a damn about people from Moscow, right? Only the locals. And outsiders, well, we've seen how they treat outsiders. So that's it for the day, guys. I'm just flabbergasted by the shit going on in Idaho. What is in the freaking water? And please, if you have not heard of the case that I mentioned involving Robin Dunn, go look at that, because literally a prosecutor in Boise, trafficking goodies, everything, again, that you would want. I wonder what Chief Fry is doing. I wonder if Chief Fry is one day maybe going to get caught doing something he doesn't want to do. And I also wonder if that's why Captain Tyson Barrett decided to retire in July 2023. Was it because he just didn't want to see this trash that was taking place in Moscow within his own police department? I don't know. Let me know what you think about this video. Leave a like, leave a comment, and leave an emoji, because why not? And cheers.